Hello everyone, it is Tuesday, January 23rd. You're watching This Day. I'm Michael Taylor. Thanks for coming to the show today and tuning us in. Hey, if you like theater, you're going to love today's program. We got some great theater stuff coming up for you. Today, we're going to be talking to the folks from the Renaissance Theater Company about a Steel Magnolias show they have coming up, another one in the summer that they have coming up, and some ways they're looking for a home, and maybe you can help them out in some way, shape, or form. We're going to talk about that as well. Irvine Barkley Theater has the incomparable, decades-long career of Lucy Arnez coming up. She's going to be coming there, talking about her. I have a great conversation with her about her life in the theater, her life in movies, her life in television, just a kind of real fun retrospective talk with her about what she's been doing over the decades and the show she has coming up at the Irvine Barkley, so stay tuned for that. Speaking of things you can go to and get excited about, I don't know about this one, but maybe a little bit excited. We have a third Mutual Town Hall coming up tomorrow, Wednesday, January 24th, from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. over in the Sequoia Ballroom at Clubhouse 2. You can come there with any of your questions, suggestions, concerns that you might have for the board, and board members will be there to listen. Now, they don't vote on anything, they don't make any decisions, but they're there to hear what's going on in your community. So if you want to get out there and let the board know about things that are concerned to you, a question you might have, this is a great opportunity to have a great back and forth session with them. So get out there Wednesday, 3:30 to 4:30 over there for the town hall at Third Mutual. Let's take a look outside at our weather. The rain is pretty much clearing out. We got some of the kind of rain clouds moving their way through, but we're not looking at any rain today, just some of the clouds. So we got partly cloudy skies today, as you can see out there. Temperature is not going to be too warm. We're only going to have about 63, and that's going to stay with the next as we have a little bit of a front moving through tomorrow. We don't expect any rain from this, but mostly cloudy. So they're going to get some rain up north, I think, from this one. And then we start to warm up as we head towards the weekend. We're going to have a really nice sunny weekend coming up as we dry out. Santa Ana conditions kind of kick in, and we're going to have a warm one, so enjoy that one. Look forward to that. Finally, a nice warm weekend for once. It's been a while. Let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset while we're at it. We got this great photo here from Cole Young. He's a great photographer and, great sports guy too. You might remember on Fridays we have Cole here. San Onofre, that's the picture down there. Beautiful waves, beautiful beach down there. Sunrise was 6:52. Sunset tonight is going to be 5:13. If you'd like to send us a picture, just like Cole sent us to us, we can do that at Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com. Make sure you can send us your sunrise shot, sunset, pets, places, your vacations, wherever you might go. And then make sure you send us your name and where you took the photo, and we will put it on our sunrise sunset segment. Hey, we got some meetings for you to take a look at. Actually, just one today, but then when we come back, we'll be talking to the folks from the Renaissance Theater Company. Stay with us.
Showtime, the groundbreaking network, is reaching new heights with original series from Paramount Plus. Introducing Paramount Plus with Showtime. More series, more stars, one network.
Let's fly.
Paramount Plus with Showtime, available now.
At Adapt to It, we strive to make the everyday tasks easier by providing our customers with the tools they need to be successful. We carefully explain the use and care of all of our equipment. Adapt to It has been in Laguna Woods for over 20 years, and we know that nothing in life stays constant. So we can help you adapt to all the changes in your life. Adapt to It sells and rents items and always delivers with a smile. Come in today to experience what we mean when we say, when you can't change it, adapt to it.
At Renew Ketamine Infusion, Dr. Justin Yannick and Dr. Tanya Dahl are board-certified physicians with nearly a decade of experience in ketamine therapy who can help those who haven't found success with other treatments or wish to avoid daily medications. Whether you're struggling with depression, PTSD, anxiety, or chronic pain conditions, our private spa-like clinic focuses on creating the perfect setting for your ketamine treatment. Call us today to schedule your free physician consultation to determine if ketamine therapy is recommended for you.
We promise to meet you with an open heart and curious mind. To never have the answers before we've heard your story. Because you are not everyone else, and healthcare is not one size fits all. Highest performing hospital, top ranked physicians, 50 convenient locations, right here in Orange County. You, empowered by Hogue.
And welcome back. As promised, it's Theater Day here at ThisDay, and we want to welcome from the Renaissance Theater Company, Sarah Jane Finch. I keep telling people I have to come to rehearsals. Thanks for coming. Tell us a little about the Renaissance Theater Company for folks who don't know anything about it.
Okay, hi, thanks for having us. So yeah, I'm Sarah Jane Finch. I started at Renaissance Theater Company in about 2019, but they were started in 2015 by Jeremy and Jennifer Golden, who wanted to bring quality, affordable community theatre to all of South Orange County.
Okay.
So they've performed in Laguna Niguel, Laguna Hills, Aliso Viejo, and we're currently using Aliso Niguel High School Theatre.
Right, over there. That's kind of close to Laguna Niguel.
Yeah, it's kind of all covering that kind of area. They were hoping to get a space of their very own, and we secured a space during COVID, but obviously things happen, and
no audience.
No audience, no space. That all fell through. So we're still currently on the hunt for a permanent building that we can use as our own, because the high school is wonderful, but there's 4 other shows happening there. We can only do one weekend of shows at a time because of scheduling and things like that. So ideally, a space that could be all of for RTC to enjoy would be great.
Now, do you guys do all original works, or you do a mix of things? I know you don't do all originals because you have a couple shows coming up, but is it a mix of original work locally?
They try to do classic works that are still have modern themes and things that are relevant today. So they've done Shakespeare, they did Hamlet in the past, they did The Importance of Being Earnest as well. So kind of classic works that can be reimagined and brought to a modern audience is kind of where their path is.
Now, even more modern than that, we had Steel Magnolias coming up on January 26th. Tell us a little bit about that performance.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So I'm actually directing Steel Magnolias, which is amazing opportunity to have. And most people have probably seen the film from the 1989
That's what I remember.
movie.
I haven't seen the musical, or I don't know if it's a musical or just a regular straight play. Okay, there we go.
So yeah, the movie was super successful and popular. It was actually written as a play by the author Robert Harling. Based on true story, he actually lost his sister to complications with diabetes after her pregnancy. And he started to write it really quickly as like a grieving process, as a short story, and that suddenly developed. He was like, no, these voices need to be heard. It's based in the South, so all these wonderful, strong Southern female characters that he grew up around. So he turned it into a play that was really successful, but he wrote it as a serious play. Obviously, it's about the death of his sister. But audiences laughed when it opened, and everyone, because the characters are so truly written.
They're so fun.
Yeah, they're so fun, they're so real that audiences related to them and their relationships, and enjoyed it. So it's very similar to the movie, but there's only 6 female characters in the play. There's no men like in the movie, and all the action takes place in Truvy's beauty salon.
Okay, I didn't know that. So that's the whole core.
The whole
of it, right?
core
that's
is
the whole set there.
these women go every Saturday morning to get their hair done at Truvy's, and it's about their life and their friendship and their loyalty to each other and how they overcome life's hurdles.
Okay, so in terms of the company, is it a kind of a small company? Do you do the act? You act as well as a direct, and
Yes.
do you do a little bit of everything? Do you bring in extra actors when you have a larger production, or how does it work?
Yes, so we're always looking for volunteers on and off the stage. So auditions were open for this show, so anybody could have showed up to audition. And we are run by a staff of volunteers. So everything from social media marketing to front of house to fundraising to props, costumes, set design, all the things that go into a production that people maybe don't think about are all volunteers. So if anybody would like to join us, we would be
Sign 'em
more
up.
than grateful to come see us.
Come see the show and then sign that volunteer sheet.
Come see the show, sign up. Or lots of information is available on our website, which is rentheatreco.org. And yeah, we'd love to have more people come join us.
Okay, terrific. Now, you guys said you're looking for a permanent home. Is that something that is ongoing, or is there funding for that, or you're looking for donations, or how is that going to work?
We would love some donations. We are constantly on the lookout for donations. We don't have any funding, so every show we do has a very small budget, and we use all of that, and then we try and fundraise in order to be able to produce the next show. So if there was anybody that happened to have an empty space that could be turned into a theatre, we would fundraise, we would make that happen somehow.
Okay.
But yeah, a donation of any sort would be amazing. And it's an ongoing, they've been searching since they started back in 2015 for a permanent space, because you can use the community centre and
those
the
are just
park,
rentals,
but
you know. You can't really own that space. You can't
own
have it whenever
and-
you want it,
and
right?
you have to pack away everything at the end of every one, and there's only certain shows that you can kind of do that are adaptable in those situations. So yeah, the hunt for a permanent space kind of around Laguna Woods, Laguna Hills, Aliso Viejo, Laguna Niguel would be amazing.
Okay. Now, you also encourage people to get you want the monastery donations coming in, but also you have a fundraiser come up on March 9th.
Yes,
Tell us a little
we
bit about that.
do. It's going to be really fun. So it's kind of like a little sneak peek to our summer musical, which is Anything Goes.
Which is an old classic.
It is. I'm excited. I don't personally do musicals because I don't sing, but I love watching them and joining in. But I know we have super talented people in South Orange County that will be doing an amazing show. So you're at the fundraiser, there'll be some performances from the show, there'll be food, there'll be drink, and a silent auction. So there'll be lots of fun stuff happening.
Okay. And do you have a certain goal? Do you guys have a number in terms, like, you know, sometimes like we need X amount of dollars for this project, or is it just one of those where you're kind of creating this war chest for the purchase?
Yeah, it's kind of a constantly ongoing, like if anything is more than what we need for the next show, that will go into finding this new space where we can really create RTC's permanent home.
Yeah.
So it's just we're grateful for anything and everything.
And I know you said, you know, people say, oh, well, you're all volunteers, you're all doing this, but the spaces aren't free, the costumes aren't free, the set design, the construction. I mean, there are some real costs even in doing community volunteer stuff.
And the rights as well.
Rights to plays.
All those things cost so much money. And so everything, it comes together, and just the cost of ticket sales doesn't cover the price of going to the theatre alone, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, let's recap real quick before we go. Steel Magnolia is going to be on January 26th, three shows.
Yes.
Tell us all about it real quick, one more time.
So it's Friday and Saturday night starting at 7 p.m, Sunday at 2 p.m. Tickets available at the door or online. It's a wonderful show with a really talented cast. You don't want to miss it.
All right. Sarah Jane Finch from Renaissance Theatre Company, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
When we come back, we'll be talking to Lucy Arnaz from the Berkeley Theatre. Stay with us.
Kiss me if you, man, those guys, they don't know what they're missing. I got a lot of living to do.
And I want to welcome Lucy Arnaz. Needs no introduction, really. Shouldn't need any introduction, but she's going to be at the Irvine Berkeley Theatre coming up later this month with a new show, I Got the Job, Songs from My Musical Past. Welcome to ThisDay.
Thank you very much for having me.
So tell me a little bit about, I guess, what was your first recollection maybe of being in TV, theater, the business at all? What was your very, very first job?
Very, very first job was on my mother's show. My mother, Lucille Ball, had a show called the Lucy Show, in between the I Love Lucy and the Here's Lucy show.
Here's Lucy, right.
Yeah, and she knew that I liked making believe and jumping up on little tables and putting on shows in my backyard and whatnot. And she saw this kid sort of leaning towards performing, I guess. And so she had an opening for a simple little 2-line part on her show. I was a soda jerk, you know, like somebody works in a soda place and carries soda stuff. And I was 11, and I had my hair was long, and I pulled it back in a ponytail, and I had these little chopped off bangs. I looked 10, and I thought I looked 16, you know. But I did that. A woman. I was yes. I did my part very well. They slid those sodas all the way down the counter, and I caught them and put them on the tray like a pro. So that was my first job. And I got a couple more of those little pretend I'm a friend of her daughter people. Cynthia was my name for years. And then I picked a high school that had a great musical theater department. And my mother saw me constantly, you know, going out for the plays and the musicals and stuff. So when she changed to her next series, the Here's Lucy series, she invited my brother and I to play the children on that show. And then first I said no, because I had a plan. I wanted to go to Northwestern or some great theater college and get a degree. And I didn't want that to mess that up.
Okay. But
most people go to Northwestern and then they try to get on a television series.
Did you, at that age though, did you have the sense that maybe you wanted to be your own person? Hey, I want to come out from this shadow, because that's a big shadow, right?
Exactly. Well, that's basically why I wanted to make sure that I had the goods. I wanted to make sure I was trained before people made fun of me or said, you only got that job because whatever.
Right.
But my mother sort of convinced me that this would be good training. And I made a pact. I made a pact with her. I said, listen, if you do this and I give it my all, and after the first few, you know, episodes, you realize that I'm not cutting it, and you will know, even though you're in water, you will know you're smart, you know. And if you see that, she's not ready, then please, I beg of you, write me out. Say that you sent me off to college or something, and then let me go really to college and
boarding school, troubled child, whatever.
Yes, let me get better at this. And she agreed. She said, no, I hear what you're saying. I understand. And I promise we will do that. So I got a little better with each episode, and it was good training. And P.S., I never went to college, and I did those shows, and then I did summer stock and regional theater and Broadway and and there I was. And so it
when did you know? When did you say to yourself, this is just for me? Was it that very first acting job?
I think I knew like even before I did that's what was fun for me. And wouldn't it be great if I could actually make my living doing this? I just love doing it. And I love make believe in characters, and I love music, and I just want to do this forever. And won't I be lucky if I can? I never forget that to this day, how lucky I am to be able to be doing something that I dreamt about, not becoming a star. See, that's the difference. A lot of people are wherever they are in the Midwest or New York, and they dream of becoming famous someday, being a star, and they go about it in whatever ways they do, through music or TV or movies or whatever. I was related to people who were really big stars, and I didn't see that there was anything fabulous about that.
Right.
No, you know, they couldn't eat a meal without being interrupted. They could never go to the market. They couldn't. Hey, you're horrible.
Can I just real quick? I interrupted your dinner, but can I really?
Yeah. And
I think some people get trapped in that idea that I have to be a star or otherwise I'm somehow not successful. And there are so many people that in this industry that you're in that have had wonderful careers. They have enjoyed their entire life, and no one knows them. But there's still fulfillment. You don't have to be a star to have that fulfillment. Did you find that at some point, saying, this is what I love. I love what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely, every single day. I've never wanted that. And when it got close to that, you know, I was like, oh God, here comes the bad part. Really. And so it's kind of, I've never been ambitious because of that. I've sort of pulled away from all the things you're supposed to do in order to get that vibe going. You know, every time I see somebody like J-Lo comes to mind, you can't get out of a car without 82 people taking a picture of you. Who wants that life? I don't. So anyway, I wanted to do what I loved doing, and doing the work was what was important to me. And as long as I had the work, I was happy as a clam. And I've been lucky. I'm in my early 70s now, and I've never stopped working. So I'm glad I chose to do what I did and I did it the way that I did it. And
Right.
this show is basically about that. So,
Right, yeah. And so it kind of goes through the whole trajectory of that, right? In your
yeah,
theater, I mean, you've
yeah.
done film, the jazz, obviously one of the most famous ones is The Jazz Singer with Neil Diamond, one of your more famous films, and your TV career and all of these things, right? And so you kind of walk folks through the whole thing. I'm
I
guessing there's some
walked,
tunes as well.
well, no, this is called, I got the jobs, songs from my musical past.
Okay.
So it's everything that had to do with putting me in front of people on a stage in doing something has to do with musicals, right? Whether it was in my high school or it was the first few shows that I did that were national tours, whatever, and then Broadway and all the shows that came after that, and stories about working with some of the amazing people that I was lucky enough to work with. Most of them, aren't with us anymore. But when I looked back on all the years I've been doing this, over 35 years of just doing concerts, and I've been in the business for almost 50 years.
Wow.
Then when I look back at the theater work that I did, I was really astounded at the amount of amazing composers whose shows I was in, and a lot of them whose work I actually got to do and work with them. The Marvin Hamishes, the Irving Berlins, the Julie Steins, Cy Coleman, Dorothy
Wow.
Fields, Michael Bennett, Tommy Tune. They're just Mike Nichols. I was really lucky, and so I have a little closet full of stories and a lot of great music because of those shows, and it made for a very entertaining, I think, intimate and very authentic show for me. Probably the most authentic cabaret concert type of thing that I've put together so far.
Now, a lot of people can have a theater career without never having to sing a tune, which is good for some. But your mother famously couldn't sing; her character couldn't sing on television, which we know that was just a farce. But when did you start singing in terms of your career? Did you go through training? Did you start very early in your musical career?
A little bit of both. I had some mild training when I was very young. My mother let me work out with one of the musical directors that was on her show, just to kind of give me some basics. And then I studied in school, in high school, and then I started to work with various vocal coaches throughout the years. But I learned a lot just by doing, like when I was on the Here's Lucy show, I was pretty young. I was 15 when I started, and they would say, next week you're going to sing a duet with Carol Burnett. And I was like, what? And I would have to go train with the accompanist and then learn the music, go to the pre-record, work with Carol. You're doing it. You're not thinking about, can you do it? You're doing it.
This is what's happening next.
But I was doing musicals in high school. My mother knew that she wasn't going to have the writers write me a scene where I had to sing with somebody unless the gal can sing. If I could sing, clearly I could carry a tune. There's a big difference between what I did then and trying to be on Broadway and singing 8 shows a week or maybe all summer long. For example, outdoors in New York when I was doing Annie Get Your Gun at Jones Beach. Outdoors is hard because it's the weather and, it's sometimes really cold or a moth will fly in your mouth, and you do it every single night and you're singing in Ethel Merman's keys. And so all of that was great training, and every time I had a challenge like that, it made me stronger. It had to, how do I learn how to do this? What do I have to do now?
Would you say of all the things you've done, is theater really your kind of your first love or your favorite of all?
Yes, absolutely. It's a high wire act every single time. Curtain goes up, it's just you. And you've worked, you've done your rehearsals, you've done your previews, whatever. But now those guys are gone. Curtain is up and it's you in the audience. And that is thrilling every single time.
All right. So you're going to be at the Irvine Barclay and doing the thing you say is your favorite thing to do. So tell us a little bit more about the show before we wrap up here, just about, what you're going to be taking us through.
It's a mini retrospective, as I say in the show, of my life within the musical theater community and the things that I've done that led me to where I am right now. I think that I got inspired to be a musical person, maybe because my father was in music and he conducted a band and he was a terrific singer and made records, right? And I had a lot of music to listen to growing up. So I always appreciated music. I always identified with the emotions that a music can bring out of you. And I gravitated more towards music, maybe than my mother did towards acting, television, film, whatever. And as soon as I could, I started to get jobs in some sort of little musical production somewhere, either, in my backyard before I even went to high school, creating them myself, or going to high school, or then, regional theater, summer stock. And the wonderful parts that I was able to get at that time, and the people that I met, and stories about them, and what it was like to have to go through those years. And there's music from all the greats in this show, the Gershwins, as I said, Berlin, Cy Coleman, Julie Stein. It's a very eclectic show about the musical theater and me.
There you go. And it's Lucy Arnaz. It's going to be Saturday, January 27th, 8 p.m. at the Irvine Barclay Theater. I believe tickets, you can still probably get some at thebarclay.org. Lucy Arnaz, thank you so much for joining us on this day.
It's my pleasure. I hope to see you all there, one night only.
Oh, there you go. We've had warning. Thank you so much.
Okay.
A lot of living to do. Oh, they're playing my song. Yeah, they're playing my song. And when they're playing my song, everybody's got a shh, shh, shh. The magic of
That was a real fun conversation I got to have with Lucy Arnaz a couple days ago on Zoom. Hey, some more fun might be coming up. California Club has some fun in mind for you. They're going to be rocking with a Lifetime Rockin' Band, and it's going to be Tuesday, January 23rd over at Clubhouse 5. Doors open at 5:15. It's a no-host bar. It's happening today at 5:15. So if you want to get out there and enjoy some fun rock and roll and a good meal, well, that's the place to be today. Let's take a look at our weather before we head out for the day on this day. It's going to be a pretty nice day. We still got some of the high clouds. They look like rain clouds, but don't worry, no rain today. They're going to be moving out and then moving in. We got a little more clouds tomorrow, and then we start to warm up. We're going to have some great Santa Ana conditions. Not too windy, but warm temperatures for us for the weekend as we dry out from the rains we had, so that'll be kind of nice. Tomorrow on this day, recreation updates and senior center updates. Recreation has some amazing events coming up. I just got a little sneak peek at them. So make sure you get there for that and get your reservations in some of the great recreation events we have coming up. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.
Do you have cavities, broken or missing teeth, tooth pain, or other dental problems? These issues can create more problems than you think, including affecting your overall health. Don't wait until it's too late. Contact Loberg Dental today and your first exam and set of x-rays is free without insurance. It's a great way for you to experience our high-quality level of patient care while saving money too. Visit drloberg.com to schedule your free exam and x-rays today.
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks. Remember me? I'm the king of whoopee. And you're watching Village Television. But everybody does.